child discipline, toddler discipline, isn't it so much fun? Well, that's what we're going to be talking about in this video, and I'm going to be showing you my amazing child discipline flowchart that we have here at influencerparenting.com. And if this is your first time here, I'm Brad Zood with influencerparenting.com, where we help moms, dads, families all over the world become the strongest influence in the life of their children, because the strongest influence in the life of their child wins. So if you're anything like us sometimes, as Greta, my wife, and I, we have 7 kids of our own, and we're in the thick of this just like you might be confused on how to discipline, what to discipline, am I doing it right? It feels like I'm over-disciplining, it feels like I'm under-disciplining, and you generally never really have a positive discipline experience to where you felt that it actually went well, got the point across, and wasn't too much and not too little. But I get it. It can be hard to know because there's no real guide or there's no real book on exactly how to handle every situation. Until our toddler discipline flowchart. That's seriously going to make things super easy for you. I'm going to show you the mind map on how you need to think of everything. And if you stay till the end of this video, I'm actually going to show you how to get a free copy. I'm going to say the link at the end of this video where you can download one of these and literally talk about it with your spouse and use this as your guide for all your upcoming child discipline. And let me tell you, it's going to transform your life and make things so much easier. So stay tuned. All right, so in order to explain the discipline flowchart, we got to get into a time machine and hop back to 5th grade science class. So remember when your teacher said, hey, here's what I need you to do. I need you to go all over the neighborhood and I need you to gather up as many leaves, different looking kinds and types as you can. Bring them to class tomorrow and we're going to go over a leaf key chart to help identify which leaves come from which tree and what type they are. So you went home, got your leaves, brought them to class, and the teacher passed out something that looked exactly like what we're going to go over, except of course, we've turned it into child discipline. That says, okay, take out your first leaf. Okay, is your first leaf brown? Go here. Okay, does your leaf have rounded edges or pointed edges? Pointed edges, let's go here. Okay, and then you go to the bottom of this and then you get the answer on what type of leaf it is or tree it is, but it's broken it down step by step and helps even a 5th grader think through that. So it's a really powerful framework of a tool. And what I'm about to go over with how you're going to think through your child discipline, it's going to make it like 5th grade easy. Okay, so let's dive right in. Step 1 of handling discipline properly is giving clear, concise instructions, training and explaining exactly what you want to have happen with your child. Look, this is where 85 to 95% of parenting fails, is that we don't get our child's attention, we don't give clear instruction, we're not sure if they can even handle the job, and then it doesn't go well. So we literally start with a foot in the grave right from the get-go. So here's how to do that. You need to call your child's name and make them come to you. Look, if you don't have their eyes, you don't have their ears, and then if you don't have their ears, you don't have their heart and their mind, right? We want to start off with making sure we have our child's attention before we give them instruction, before we just yell into the room, hey Bobby, pick up your Legos, it's time for dinner. And you don't know if they heard or not. They may or may not have heard. They can claim they didn't hear. We've given them this excuse right from the get-go, and it sets us up wrong. So you need to call their name, have them physically come to you, and say, Bobby, I want you to pick up your Legos. Have them confirm back to you, either yes, mom, yes, ma'am, or yes, you want me to pick up my Legos, so that they know that they heard, they understand the instruction, and they can go do it. That will solve so many problems right there. All right, so let's jump down to the next step. Were the instructions followed? If they were followed, yes, then we need to give our child an attaboy, a high five. Hey, great job. Hey, thank you for doing that so quickly. That really helped us get dinner on the table, right? Children want to hear that they did a great job just like we do as adults, so give them the old thumbs up. However, if it goes like the probably other 8 out of 10 times, no is the answer. So we have to then move down and say, why was this instruction not followed? And it can really only be not followed for one of 4 basic reasons. The first one is from more of a general grumbling and complaining standpoint. They're either giving you some indirect pushback, or they're cranky, or they're tired, or they're throwing a fit, or they're just kind of like harumphing, right? We've all been there. So that's one of the first ways that it can not get done. One of the second ways is willful disobedience. Like, I'm not doing it and you can't make me. I did it yesterday and it's Bobby's turn today and that's not fair. Where they give you direct willful defiance, right? A third way that the job may not have gotten done is maybe a little more innocent, to where they just truly forgot or they truly got sidetracked, right? We all have one of those kids where they just are pretty easily distractible with what's going on in life. And the fourth reason, and maybe less common, that the job didn't get done is that it was a skill-based issue. So let's dive into the first one, grumbling and complaining. So if we get to know the job was not done because grumbling and complaining, here are some things that we can do. The first thing is we can put them in isolation, right? They're just simply not showing the attitude or the happiness required to be around other people and be around the family. The second thing that may happen is a natural consequence. So a natural consequence is something like, hey, your mom told you to put on a coat before you go outside to play because you might catch cold and you didn't, and then therefore you caught a cold. That would be like a natural consequence. So maybe if the child disobeys and doesn't pick up his Legos, and then 10 minutes later he's walking through the room, steps on a Lego and hurts his foot, that would be a natural consequence of them not listening to your instruction. The third thing that you could do is a logical consequence. So in other words, if you're asking your child to pick up their Legos before dinner time, and they don't want to do it, well, you say, well, you can't come to dinner until the Legos are picked up, and the longer they delay the Legos, the more chances are they may not be able to come to dinner in time to have dinner, and maybe they don't get the privilege of dinner that night. Or number four, maybe there's extra chores or something else that they can do as a consequence for not doing the one chore that you asked them to do. And again, keep in mind, discuss with your spouse whatever you think these consequences should be. The point of this isn't consequences. The point of this is to figure out what type of disobedience it is so you can deal with it appropriately. So the next category of why something didn't get done is willful disobedience, right? So when your child stands his ground and looks you in the eye and defies your authority or your instruction, right? And we would encourage you to deal with this, whatever your top level consequences are. This we need to get a handle on ASAP. So again, discuss with your spouse what those are going to be, but this is for that upper tier of consequence for sure. Pro tip right here: when this happens, this category of willful disobedience is especially important that you predetermine what these consequences are going to be, as this scenario is probably has the most likelihood to invoke anger in you, and we don't want to make decisions out of anger ever in parenting, but especially when a bunch of anger is flying at you. You want to be able to remain cool, remain calm, and execute a predetermined plan that you already have with your spouse so that everything goes smooth and you remain calm. The third way that it could go wrong is that your child just literally forgot or they got distracted, right? This happens especially in young children where maybe they're walking past his brother's room and his brother's doing something cool. He gets sucked in and he really did mean to go do it, but he just literally and actually truly forgot. If you get to this point and assess that that happened, maybe a simple warning is all you need. However, maybe this is a regular occurrence where your child forgot and we have to sit him down and say, hey, listen, I understand that you're forgetting, and next time you forget, XYZ is going to happen. So that we sit our child down in a time of non-conflict and we explain what's going on so that we're all on the same page of what is going to happen next time they forget. Or you can truly help them set a plan for them not to forget. So if you have a deal where after breakfast, your child needs to sweep the floor, well, maybe where he sits at the table, we put a sticky note there that says sweep floor after breakfast. It's just a simple reminder of what his job is to do immediately after breakfast so he truly doesn't forget. Or you can sit down and articulate with your child that says, hey, every time you walk by your brother's room, you tend to get sucked in. So don't walk by your brother's room after dinner so that you forget to sweep the table. Just stay in the kitchen after dinner and that will greatly help you succeed. Because that's really the goal. We want our children to succeed and we as parents are here to help them make that happen. And the fourth reason that maybe a job did not get done is that it's a skill-based issue. So this goes back to kind of the start of training and explaining and making sure we give clear instruction. But if the job didn't get done because it's a skill-based issue, we need to reevaluate their cognitive or physical ability to do the job. And if we think, hey, this is something that my child should be able to mentally and physically do, what we need to do is hop back up to the beginning, retrain, re-give instruction, and maybe just show them again that here's what you do and remind them of the standard. But if not, if we decide, hey, maybe after all, my child doesn't understand how to put all the dishes away successfully into the cupboards, then we can just maybe pare it down a little bit to where, okay, I want you to unload the dishwashers, all the dishes onto the counter, or maybe we just give them a completely different job altogether. So there you have it, the discipline flowchart. And if you're still watching this video, hey, thank you so much. It really means a lot to us. And by the way, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, tap that like button. It really, really means a lot to us and really helps the channel with the algorithm and all that kind of stuff. And if you want to get a downloadable physical copy of our discipline flowchart that we normally reserve only for our paid students, but we're giving it away for free here, all you have to do is go to influencerparenting.com/flow. influencerparenting.com/flow. And right below me is a great video you need to watch on the difference between consequences and deterrents, because remember, your consequences need to be deterrents and some of your consequences aren't. So click on this video right below me and watch it right now. It's so important. And we'll see you on the next one.